My name is Chris May, and I am the ambassador for the Invicta Project. The Invicta Gala is an event held to honor participants, celebrate recovery, and support the ongoing pursuit of effective treatment. The Invicta Project provides treatment to military veterans and first responders who have experienced traumatic brain injuries. The inaugural launch of the Invicta Gala was filled with familiar faces and warm support from not only professionals in their respective fields, but also the community at large. Over the past year, the Invicta Project has treated 12 service members and have 5 scheduled to attend before the gala, thanks to our incredible supporters. My goal is to raise funds to support 24 veterans and first responders this year. Please join our team in helping us achieve this goal. We would love for you to attend our next gala on May 3rd to experience the amazing support. All right, good afternoon, everybody. Today we're going to talk a little bit about the Invicta Project and how we're supporting our veterans. I have Dr. Wright here, one of the doctors at Park Performance Institute, who are primary provider for the program. So we're going to have a conversation, a little dialogue, and we'll kind of let you guys know what we're doing.
Yeah, so from my perspective, what we do is we initially bring in the veterans. Chris does a good job with his team. Finding these veterans that need our assistance, and they come in and they meet with our medical team. Initially, they meet with our nurse practitioner, who does a workup via telehealth and does a full metabolic sweep, so whatever it may be, whether it be a GI test or a heavy metal test or just basic blood panels. We did all that done initially ahead of time. Once they're in clinic and they start their actual 2-week protocol with us, I'll do the neuro assessment. So I do functional neurology. I do different neurological assessments from eye movements, vestibular function, all of that. And then they see our other chiropractor, Dr. Yates, who will do a musculoskeletal assessment looking at all the aches, bumps, and bruises they've gotten along the way. So that's a little bit of a medical overview of what we do, and we can kind of talk about it. Chris was one of our patients at one point, so he can talk about the project as well.
Yeah, so the good thing about the Invicta Project is I tell all of our veterans and first responders to come to the program with some goals. So to think about the things that you're having issues or you're struggling with. So when you come through the program, the doctors can actually tailor your program to meet the goals that you're trying to achieve while you're there. For my case, I'm a competition shooter, and I was struggling during shooting because multitasking and being able to identify targets and rapidly transition from one target to another, I was really struggling with that. So when we set my goals, a lot of the treatments we're using today were based off rudimentary things almost 2 years ago when I first came through the program. But what I saw out of that treatment plan after 2 weeks was 2 months later, I went and I competed at the national championships, and I took 8th out of over 300 people in the long gun comp. And we had to shoot 11 targets from 180 yards all the way out to 678. And I was able to identify and transition those targets in under 80 seconds, which is huge when you look at the impact that coming through a program. And some of the homework they send you home with and the tools are so simple that if you do them every day, you can maintain that level of competence in whatever skill you're going through. Our main goal is to literally show veterans and first responders that there is a better quality of life. A lot of us put our heads down, and whatever issue we wake up with the next day just becomes the new norm. And we don't realize that, over time, those issues keep compiling and compiling. And what the program does is it builds awareness, and they come out, and a lot of our veterans, they get emotional because they don't realize or did not realize that there is another option. Non-invasive, simple program that can really change their life and their trajectory. It gives them the ability to actually wake up in the morning and feel better and understand that, continue to set goals. There's more clarity, there's more purpose, because a lot of veterans, purpose drives everything. And that's how I ended up here as the ambassador for the Invicta project. Is I was so moved by the progress that I had coming through the program that I became very engaged even from the outside with finding sponsors, finding donors, building relationships. That when the opportunity came for me to take the program over, I was ecstatic. A lot of us, we wait a long time to find a job that provides purpose. And I love every day coming to work, being able to support our veterans and our first responders and really change the veteran, their lives. And that's the goal, is to impact them when we have the ability to change their trajectory before they get to a point where that's no longer an option. And I'd like, Dr. Wright, if you could talk a little bit about some of the techniques that you guys use, because that's one thing that it's hard for a veteran to explain, well, this is what we did, which is why I brought Dr. Wright up today, so he can explain to you some of the tools they use to enhance our performance, as we go back out to live a better life.
Yeah, what we try to do when we meet together as a medical team is we try to find, like you said, what is the one thing that that individual is really wanting to improve upon, whether that be improving at the tactical games. We just had another individual who does security and has certain requirements for his job that we tried to replicate within our therapies. We have technology at the clinic, and we're very fortunate to have such technology at our disposal in order to really get fine detail assessment of oculomotor function, for example, or vestibular function, or look at autonomic fatigue. Someone may be able to perform something, but are they able to perform it well over a certain amount of time? And that's where we start to work with our nurse practitioner, looking at the metabolic side of things, the supplements that are necessary for these veterans and first responders that can help them get back on a the chemical track that is good for them from a neurologic standpoint, whatever that issue may be, whether that's tracking something, reducing the amount of sympathetic load on their nervous system, or just getting them moving better with our musculoskeletal professional, Dr. Yates. We're able to do that very effectively because we have tons of very detailed equipment that allow us to have a large impact on what we're looking at and then what the patient is also receiving. And then finding a way to package that into an at-home program that continues for them, and we're at the disposal of them throughout their program as well. So it's really about creating an environment where the individual feels heard and that they feel like they are a part of a team.
Yeah, and I would say to that, one of the key factors in the program is our nurse practitioner and actually getting our bodies balanced. So when I came through the program, I believe Kelly had just come on, and I did not get to experience that portion of it. And the first day I came into work when they hired me, I sat down with her and I said, okay, we need to fix this. Yeah. And I will tell you that in the last 3 to 4 weeks after getting on the supplement program and getting a lot of the issues, I had high estrogen, high insulin, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and I was really struggling just to stay focused every day. And the program that she put me on has changed the game. I'm reacting faster, my thought process is faster, my ability to make decisions is faster than it's probably been in 15 years, because we identified, a virus in my gut that I didn't even know I had. And their programs with their labs cover the full gamut of anything you could expect that the VA is not going to cover. It's hard to get your local doctor to do it. And the key is we fund 100% of the veterans' treatment through the program. So we cover their medical bill, we cover their travel, we cover their labs. So when they leave with all of these assets in their toolbox, and we keep veterans in our program for 12 months. So they do the initial 12 weeks, and then I reach out to them every month to ask them, how are you doing? How are you feeling? Do you need anything? And then at the 6-month mark, we give them the ability to come back into the program for another week between 6 months and a year, where they might have identified a few other things that they're struggling with, or maybe something else popped up. Because the reality is, a lot of the TBI issues that we have, we'll live with for the rest of our lives. It's just how do we mitigate them, and how do we seek opportunities to enhance, what our program as we're moving forward. And that's one of the critical things, is maintaining that contact to identify the individuals that come through. And then that's where, if I came back and I said, hey, I'm struggling here, the doctors can take that and tailor that week to focus specifically on that issue that the veteran or the first responder is having, which I think is a huge game changer. When you can come in and identify something, really specific that you guys can hone into. And I know we had one of our patients came back late last year for that reset. You want to talk a little bit about how that went?
Yeah, so the biggest emphasis I think we want to talk about with the program is just how we all work together. We have these different specialties that really coexist with each other in order to make this impact on these patients. So you said about our nurse practitioner and the things that she does. When you have a traumatic brain injury, we talk about the gut-brain axis and how those can be impacted. The hormones can be impacted with that. You talked about your estrogen levels. All of that is really, in order to make the impact that we need, like I can do all the therapy in the world, but if the brain and the cells are not in the position from a nutritional standpoint or a supplement standpoint, or they're not getting the blood flow that they need, then it's really not going to matter, because it's going to not last. So having the metabolic side with our nurse practitioner is great. It allows for what we do from a therapeutic standpoint to really hold. And then, like you said, at 6 months, we do a re-up. Hey, how do things look? It allows us to fine-tune these things, especially from our nurse practitioner's perspective, because things change. As we improve our gut function, then we start to unveil that, hey, we're starting to have a little bit more of a thyroid issue that may be popping up, because things start to kind of adjust to the new normal that it's experiencing, so we can start to mitigate and manage those new changes. And then, if necessary, we deem that someone wants to come back and do another week with us, they do, and we do another re-exam from a neuro perspective and a physical perspective, and we just keep the ball rolling for that whole year. And it's really a beautiful program. It's something that a lot of first responders and veterans have expressed, that there's nothing really like it out there as far as the follow through with what we're trying to do with the program, which is beautiful.
Yeah, and I think that's critical with having that monthly contact. And sometimes it's easy as shooting a text, hey, how are you doing?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm great, but I need to talk to Dr. Kelly, or, I need to talk to another doctor. Just having that point of impact every month to let them know that we're still there. We're still concerned on how they're doing. We're still engaged. And the big thing, that what we're here, I set a goal to come out here. It's the first time that Parker has had an Invicta booth, and my goal was to raise enough funds this weekend to provide treatment for 3 more veterans or first responders. And we're doing fantastic. I would say anybody that's interested in changing the lives of a veteran or first responder, please come see me or stop by booth 700, and we will talk you through the program and what we're doing, and show you some of the things that we have over there that we enjoy to highlight with people that are out here enjoying the Parker seminars. But that's my goal, is to impact another veteran while I'm here for the next 3 days. So please stop by booth 700 and see us. And thank you, Dr. Wright, for coming up here. It was supposed to just be me, but I felt we'd get more out of it if we actually had a dialogue. And then we also have our guest of honor and our veteran of the year here, BJ Keepers, up front. And we thank you for coming out and spending some time with us, brother. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right,
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank you.